Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, as we are each and every single week, coming at you to talk about all things building on your land. I'm Eric Allard, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, joined, as I am each and every single week, by the great, the wonderful, the green, Dawn Dantzler. How are you doing today, Dawn?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. This is a great coordination we did.
We
Very good
did.
coordination. Yep. Today is green. It is Tilson Tuesday. It's Tilson Live. It is 2 o'clock. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Folks, jump in. Tell us a couple of things about yourself. Well, first of all, we want to know where you're building, what part of the process you are in, and where you're watching from. Always interesting to see. We have gone around the world. We know for sure Japan, Germany, Belgium. We know we got some folks out there all running like crazy to get to Texas. Can't blame them. Probably a few less running this month because it's 104 and hot and miserable. But
yeah, little warmish.
Lots of great employment opportunities here in Texas. Makes the weather worth it. So, not to mention the people. We're a friendly state. Let's not forget that. We're friendly. Self-proclaimed. So we're friendly as long as you're friendly to us. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Welcome to Tilson Live. We are here as we are each and every single Tuesday, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Folks, jump into the comments. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you. We're going to talk about, like we do every week, all things building a custom home on your land. So you got questions about design. You got questions about financing. You got questions about construction. You got questions about warranty. You got questions about site preparation. What do I do with a culvert? Where's the septic system go? How do I get a water well? Who does the permit? Who's responsible for what? That's what we're here to talk about. But specifically, Dawn has a very special presentation for y'all today. Dawn, while folks jump in and tell us where they're watching from, where they're building, what part of the process they're in, what are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about a bunch of the different ways that you can personalize your home. So talking about some of the custom options that are available, that, the pre-design changes that you can make to your home, as well as some of the other, lesser known customizations, like things you can do with your kitchen cabinets, islands, things like that. So kind of talking about all of the great ideas that we've seen our customers do and what we like, and just kind of sharing some of those inspirations with you.
Is this like the In-N-Out secret menu? Is that what you're referring to? We have like a secret. Is there a Tilson secret menu? Is there?
It's not entirely secret, but it's one of those, when you have your design appointment, we kind of like to make sure that we focus on what you are most interested in. So there may be some things that you weren't aware that you could do.
That is correct. Yeah. So I know, and we get comments from time to time, and we're going to deal with that today about like, I had no idea I could do that. Why didn't my salesperson tell me? And the reality is, if you sat there and listened to every single thing that could possibly be done to your house, down to cabinet accessories, door hardware, cabinet hardware, pulls, drawer knobs, all the things, you would never get out of the office. You would never get a house built.
Yeah, so, you might decide you don't even want to do it. You might get so overwhelmed that you're going to be like,
you can
I'm
run
out.
Away terrified.
I'm out.
Yeah, you run away and put a for sale sign on your land. Never do this, but you don't have to. It doesn't have to be that way. So we are here to talk about, like Dawn said, it's a whole aspect of things that sometimes folks don't think about, right? So again, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, we got folks jumping in and joining us. We need someone to ping us from YouTube. Make sure that we're live on YouTube. Haven't seen anybody come in, or maybe YouTube's down. Maybe they're busy streaming all kinds of other fun things. There we go. Donna,
thank you, Donna.
Here. Thank you, Donna. Donna wins the internet points for the day. All right, so Dawn, tell us who we got watching and joining us so far. We'll jump into this fantastic presentation.
Absolutely. We've got Debbie watching us from Bastrop.
Hey, Debbie. Look, she has a picture of Bastrop in her avatar. That looks just like Bastrop. It's pretty.
We got Denise, hello from Pearland, still planning on building the Canyon D in Washington
Beautiful.
County.
Awesome. Fantastic. Can't wait.
We got Michaela coming in from Kaufman. Hey, Michaela.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back.
We got Jason saying howdy. Hey, Jason.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
We've got Terry coming in from Nacona, Texas, looking for a builder ready to start.
Okay.
Right. We've got Angela, hey, from Lee City, but moving to Blanco in a couple of years, trying to find a floor plan that checks all our boxes and under our budget. All right.
There we go.
Get this out. We got Jason saying, I have a feeling this Tilson Live is going to be expensive for me. Potentially.
Oh, you should be so lucky, Jason.
But we also have some options that give you a lot of impact for not as much money. So we got Donna. Hey, again, Donna B watching from Austin. We've got Kevin saying, I missed last week's session, but glad I could make it to today's session. Good to see you.
Oh, welcome, Kevin. Yeah.
We got Alicia. Hello, Tilson family. Finally under contract for Gonzales in Newton County. Lord, please help me not add too much after this video. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Um,
Self-control, Alicia. Self-control.
we got
Fruit of the
Joshua. So
spirit.
tennis, working on starting to Angelina and Navarro.
Oh,
Awesome.
very nice. Yeah. Lamar County, very popular.
Handyman Jason says YouTube is working
Thank you,
well. Okay.
Jason.
Thank you, Jason. And we've got Terry, just found your site. Very interested. Do you have plans or can alter plans for the great room facing the front of the home, walking in the front door to the great room area?
The answer is yes and yes.
Yes and
We
yes.
have plans that do that, and we can alter plans to do that as well. We actually have one under construction. Well, it's close to that. The Arlington is very similar to that. The
Mhm.
Refugio, you walk right into it. I don't know what square footage you're looking for, Terry, but yeah, the answer is yes. We have those designs, and if we don't have that design just right for you, we can certainly alter one of ours. Do that. We have made the back of the house the front before.
Yeah, I
That's
was gonna
happened.
say we've made the back of the house the front before,
Yes.
so yeah, we can absolutely do that for you. And Jason says he's building a Gonzales C,
Oh,
almost
very
done in
nice. And you
Splendora.
know what? I'm gonna give handyman Jason credit for fixing YouTube. He's a handyman. He got it done, fixed, done.
There you go. Good job. We got Phyllis saying hello from the Fort Hood area. Hey,
Oh,
Phyllis.
very good.
We've
Formerly
got
known as Fort Hood, now Fort Cavazos. I hear.
I'm gonna call it Fort Hood. Anna saying hi from Katie. We'll build in Waller County.
Take that, General Cavazos. Sorry,
You're too hard to pronounce. I'm sorry. Hood's
Don has
easier.
spoken.
Brandon and Victoria G building at San Jacinto B in Wilson. A soil sample coming soon.
Oh, very
Awesome.
nice, very nice. My prediction is going to be dry. The soil is going to be dry.
We got Annie saying the Taylors building the Nueces and East Bernard, Wharton
Oh,
County.
beautiful.
Slab scheduled for next Tuesday.
Oh, that's
Cool.
exciting. Very
That
cool.
is exciting. We've got Lance building a San Antonio B in Victoria County. Exterior paint is completed and roof shingles installed this past Friday. Awesome.
Very good. Oh, thankful in that order too. That's wonderful.
Yeah. We've got Shalon. Do you have any plans that have the kitchen sink under a window instead of in the island?
I get to stay with the ones that work. The Arlington and the Refugio both
Yes.
have that. So yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, the Arlington and the Refugio, both of which will be model homes, are model homes, almost finished in Angleton, Texas. So we'll have photography and videography done on those in the coming months. But yes, the answer is we do have that. And again, we've altered plans to do that. I know of a LaSalle that we built in Richmond, Texas, that has a kitchen sink, a window over the kitchen sink facing out. So we can do that on pretty well any plan.
Yep.
Almost any plan, not really any plan, but most plans.
I mean, we might have to move the kitchen, but
Yes.
we can make it happen. And then we've got Neil, all moved into our San Jacinto and Hood County last week. Loving it.
Man, Neil's
Awesome.
he's one of the originals, man. He goes
He
way
is.
back machine.
I
One of the
know. We
original
met him at the
subscribers.
Waxahachie grand opening in
Yes.
2019. So
Awesome. All right. Well, thank
way,
you
way
all
back.
for jumping in. Of course, continue to jump in, put your comments into the chat, questions, comments, where you're watching from, where you're building, anything that might pop up, whatever's on your mind. You know, we're family friendly, so keep it appropriate as you always do. But jump in, tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, any questions you have at all. I mean, if they pertain to the customization, fantastic. If they're about financing, if they're about construction, if they're about site preparation, ask those here. We want to hear from you. We want you to leave here armed with information to help your family make the best decision for them. So,
Yep.
Dawn.
And we're almost in the season where we'll answer college football questions too. So
Oh, yeah. Last Saturday was the last Saturday of the year without college football. It was. It was. I hope all you guys out there, I hope you did the kitchen. I hope you made the bed. I hope you did all the things that you're supposed to have done on Saturday, because it's going to be a struggle from here on out. You have all this time to add little pennies to the emotional bank account. We're going to find out if you did it.
And then we also have Terry asking if we do metal roofs. Yes, we do.
We do, Terry. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a peek at this presentation and get into it.
All right.
All right. So as we've answered with all of our questions, there are lots of ways to personalize your custom home. So these are just a few of our favorites and some tricks that we've seen along the way. So just stuff that we wanted to share. I guess they're actually my favorites. Eric just agrees with whatever I put on the screen.
Yeah,
so
I think you could probably safe to say, starting with the strong out of the chute, the most popular area of the house.
The kitchen, yes. Yeah, we clearly got a lot of questions about the kitchen just now with everybody else. So yeah, there are a lot of things that you can change in the kitchen, and it is one of the most personalized area of the home. So the first thing that I'm going to share is almost every plan that we offer has some type of alternate kitchen layouts. And we're getting to the point where some of them are actually going to have 2 alternate kitchen layouts. So there's always options to change that we've pre-designed. Where you can, I would advise you to go with one of our pre-designed options because these have been vetted through drafting to work. You're going to be able to open the dishwasher and not hit the cabinets. Everything's going to be where it needs to be. So always look at these. You can still tweak them a little bit if you need to personalize them, but I would start kind of with your alternate kitchen layouts. The types of changes that you're going to see in there is usually the first thing an alternate kitchen is going to do is make the kitchen bigger, because that's what people, really are asking for from us when they're looking to kind of customize their kitchens. And generally speaking, it's also going to separate the cooktop from the oven and microwave. In the 2 that we've shown, it's actually moved the microwave completely away from everything. In the Lone Star, this alternate kitchen option, your microwave actually isn't even shown in this picture. I'll show you what we did with it later. We actually moved it out of the kitchen. In the Polidoro, it actually moves into that center island. So you have that microwave down where it's a little bit more accessible and out of the way of everything else. The other thing you're going to see is probably a larger cooktop. So we'd either get physically bigger, add more burners, things like that, just really improving that space for you. You'll also see a lot of them have double ovens. I didn't mention it on here, but I'm a big double oven fan. So I like to call that out, but you will see a lot of times that's what happens in those kitchens. Generally speaking, you'll get a larger island. In case of both of these, we actually even add another island in addition to the one that you already had. And you'll also see larger pantries coming into the mix.
I would call that an island chain. Who knows?
Absolutely. So yeah, that's just kind of some of the options that you're going to see in those. And if you don't see it in the option, these are also changes that you can make to the kitchen layouts that we have that are very, very common that we would do. So these are pictures of what you were seeing. So this is that Polidoro model. This is the alternate kitchen. So you're seeing those double islands happen in there. The other thing that you can see in there, if you see that kind of silver disc sort of near where Eric is with the sink, that is actually the pop-up outlet that we are now having to put into our islands because of the change in electrical code. So these are actually really cool. So a nice way to be able to plug in your electrical appliances, and it also has a phone charger. It's got USB ports. These are actually a pretty cool thing that the government is now asking us to do with code. So one of the few things that somewhat improved our lives. But you will see that. But like I was mentioning, this does have the double ovens. You've got the decorator vent hood, all of that. And this kitchen got a lot bigger. We added that whole extra island is what happened in here.
Yeah. And I think in this house, it's pushing 50 feet from this wall to the back wall over here where the family room is.
Yes. If you were looking for a space to entertain, if you throw big parties, large family gatherings, things like that, the Polidoro is definitely the plan. The
The
for you.
Polidoro layout, but it takes, it eats barn dominiums for breakfast. It's way more of a span than any barn dominium out there.
It is huge. I think we fit like 60 people in there for a meeting. It was great. This is our newest model. The Lone Star has another alternate kitchen layout again with the double islands. And like I mentioned, you will not see a microwave in the actual body of this kitchen. We have moved it to its own little space because this one actually has a butler's appliance pantry to it. But again, you're seeing the double ovens, the double island, bigger cooktop, just lots of space. And one of the other things that we did as an option, and it's actually later in the presentation too, but I think it's so cool, I'm going to mention it twice, is the barn doors that kind of hide. You can open or close them depending on what view you want people to have of what's going on in your cabinet. So I thought that was a really cool touch.
It's very nice. Very pretty house.
Yes. So other kitchen options that if you're interested in any of these things, make sure to ask the design center and we can kind of they can go through the options and price them out. But there's all kinds of goodies. This is where we put the microwave in the Lone Star kitchen. So this is the Lone Star's butler pantry. So it's actually got a separate fridge in here. It's got the microwave.
It's actually an ice maker
in that space. Sorry, ice maker. Sorry.
Yeah. And it is not hooked up presently because I have trust issues. Not with the equipment, with humans.
Yes. But yeah, so you've really kind of got its own separate fancy butler's pantry, appliance pantry, whatever you want to call it, but it's kind of set off from the rest of the kitchen. So you can kind of do more of the messy work in here and kind of have the other one as more of a show place. So
That's right.
really, really beautiful options in there. And then, we also offer pot fillers that a lot of people really like. And then, all the different styles of farmhouse sinks are available. These are things that people really, really like to do to customize their kitchen. So lots of different options there. And then we also have all of the features inside the cabinets that you can't see. So a lot of our homes, the kitchens are going to already include pull-out trays, but if they don't, you can add them. So that's where the shelves actually pull out so you can get into the very back without having to scramble around and knock things over. We offer the pull-out trash cans. Again, some kitchens include those, but you can add them in if you don't have one already. And then we have all the bells and whistles that Kentmore offers. So different things like utensil pull-out drawers, spice cabinet pull-outs. They've got knife blocks. They've got all of the things. So anything that you have seen on your Pinterest feeds or out there in the wild that is an accessory for a kitchen cabinet, we can go ahead and price that for you through Kentmore.
And I must say, I was even pleasantly surprised in my own house. These that will fit 2 13-gallon trash cans. So it's legit. I also get onto my kids for pushing this trash down when it's all the way extended. I don't know if it'll break or not. They haven't done it yet, but it does make me wince every time I see them do it. Like, I appreciate them putting stuff in the trash, and I appreciate them making room for more things. I think they do it, though, so they don't take it out. Like, if I can fit one more smushed water bottle in here, I don't have to take the trash out. Anyway.
Yeah, that's usually the reason that happens in my kitchen, too.
Only 3 more days to trash day. I'm sure it'll make it.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And then there's a bunch of options that you can also do for your upper cabinets. So common things that we see are people, changing to glass doors so that you can kind of make a display cabinet, china cabinet feel to those upper cabinet doors. We've also seen appliance garages so you can kind of hide those things away. We've actually seen those in bathrooms too. Our Angelina model in the Waco location actually has that in the bathroom, so you can hide away all the hair dryers and all the mess in that. And then the barn doors and the floating shelves are becoming very popular as well. And the other thing, we didn't specifically call it out in the presentation, but you can see differences in the hardware that you pick make a huge, huge difference. And the other thing you're seeing in that barn door is actually doing an extra level of cabinets to take them all the way to the ceiling. So that's an option as well if you want to do that. And then we've got lots of styles of decorator vent hoods. So we've got a variety of different, wood options for you, as well as the stainless. So just whatever you want to do there.
Yeah, they can be wall canopy mount. They can be up just in a cabinet. We do still offer microwave hood combos, of course. But yeah.
And then kitchen island details. So this farmhouse X that you see on the end of the model, the Canyon model is very popular. But we also offer a bunch of other options for you. We actually have, I believe it's 12 different kitchen islands that we can put into any of our plans. So just kind of figure out where they go. So just let your consultant know what you're interested in, and we've probably got one that fits for you. And then that's a more close up one of the Polidoro of the microwave actually in the island. So you can see what that looks like. So lots of options. And then something else that we're seeing being popular in the dining spaces and also in the kitchens themselves is adding masonry accents on walls. So this is showing brick there on the left and then stone on the right. So we're seeing a lot of this being brought inside to people's homes to kind of echo. If you've got some type of masonry happening on the outside, it's nice to bring that in.
Yeah, it makes it look like it was an old world building that you tore down the sheetrock and, oh my gosh, there's
brick.
Original brick wall behind it from 2024. So it's really pretty and energy efficient. All right, so we got some questions that popped up.
Yes, we do. So let me go ahead and grab those. So we have Handyman Jason saying we really like the Whitney kitchen, and Julie Hersey was able to give us that kitchen in the Gonzalez floor plan.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got Lisa saying we're building a Brazoria D in Austin County. Foundation was poured last Wednesday and the framing started today. So far, the process has been great from sales to construction. Awesome. Glad to hear that.
Update pictures.
Yeah. We've got Gayla saying, is it possible to see an Arlington 3-bedroom that was built for someone else? We saw the model in Angleton, but want a 3-bedroom and need to see it.
I don't know that we have one built.
Yeah, I don't know that we have the Arlington built, but the Arlington is an updated version of our San Gabriel plan. So it would be very similar if you wanted to go look at that in our Georgetown office. That is a model up there, and that I believe is the 3-bedroom. So that would kind of give you a sense of how much space there is.
Yeah, just bear in mind that the Arlington would have taller ceilings than the San
Mhm.
Gabriel does, which I know that sounds like it wouldn't be a big deal. It's a big deal
Yeah.
when you walk into the Arlington versus walking to San Gabriel. But she's absolutely right. Size wise, it's 3-bedroom. I mean, we updated and updated the San Gabriel and called it the Arlington and made it really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlene is asking if we could add a butler's pantry to the canyon.
It can be done. So you can either do it, do the alternative side load garage, kind of how we've done the model where you get the drop zone.
Mhm.
What I've seen people do is maybe you could do that. You can do that obviously without doing the 2-car garage, but that's the easiest way to see it on our website.
Yeah.
And what I would probably do is just flip flop the utility room from the pantry, maybe. Even if you needed a half bath, keep that. If not, maybe put the utility room on that back part and then make the rest of that butler's pantry, the part that's where the utility room is now. I'd make that butler's pantry. Or alternatively, you make what would be the powder room and that little ledge in the garage. That would be butler's pantry, and keep the utility where it drops on where they are. But yeah, but that'd be very simple to do. And there's probably a sales consultant out there with a way better idea than that. That was what I came with on the fly while Dawn was talking.
Well, we were in sync because that's actually what I was thinking too. So I'm glad
Okay,
you checked it out for me. I was like, I would think that's probably where it would go. We've got Eric saying greetings from Beaumont, just listening in today. Hey, Eric.
welcome from the Golden Triangle.
Yeah. We've got Kevin. Aside from browsing plans on your website, what approach is best to find floor plans to meet our needs? Favoring the canyon, wondering if another plan has a larger kitchen, etc., so we don't have to customize. So if you've already browsed our website, I would suggest calling up one of our design consultants and going in and kind of discussing what you're looking for. They are experts at all of our plans. So once you kind of describe exactly what you're looking for, they can guide you to the proper plan. Would be
Well,
my
Kevin, they've likely done it for someone else. I mean,
Mhm.
it's you're starting. You don't have to start from scratch. If you call your nearest design center, get an appointment set up, and say, "Here's what we want to do. We love the canyon. We just want a bigger kitchen." They may well, oh well, the Joneses did that, a year ago, and I've got the sketch right here. If you want to come in and take a look at it and see if it works for you, how much
Mhm.
space do you need? What's bigger look like? Do you need 2 feet, 3 feet, 6 inches? Like, what do you need? Especially if you've gone and visited the canyon itself and said, okay, it's just not quite big enough for me. Because I think the model actually does have the alternate kitchen, if I
Yes, it
recall.
is.
So, are you needing more space between, say, I don't know where you would need more space in that one, but someone probably could. They may need another island. I mean, island, like the Paladuro or the Lone Star. So, but yeah, her advice is best.
Okay. We got Terry saying, I'm elderly. Do you do wheelchair door entries?
Yeah, so we can do where possible. We can do up to 36-inch wide. Actually, front doors we can do 42-inch wide. So technically, ADA or excuse me, American Disabilities Act, it calls for 32 inches. That's a little tight, in my opinion, for wheelchair, although it is compliant.
Mhm.
But I think you're going to do some paint damage to trim and things like that. But I'm 36 inches is plenty. There are usually a few rooms where we can't, Terry. So like maybe the secondary bathroom, for example, if it has like a 2-foot or 2-foot 4-inch door going into it, that it's going to be tough to do there because usually it's like up against a cabinet and then a wall, and you can do it, but you got to make a bedroom smaller or a family room smaller. But as far as like all of our master suites, front doors, back doors, doors going into studies, all that kind of stuff, it's not a problem at all. Sheetrock openings, not a problem at all. Very, very easy to do.
Okay, awesome. We've got Joshua asking, in general, do improvements to the land, such as adding power and well, count towards equity and appraisal and help toward the 10% easy buy?
In general, yes. Well asked, Joshua. Yeah, it does. So things like that. Power, probably less so. It's certainly something for that we like to see done from an equity
Mhm.
position that gives us kind of okay. They're definitely dedicated to this affair, especially if it's like one of the $20,000-$30,000 hill country ones that we see. on occasion, not every time. But yeah, water well, no doubt. That, if I'm looking at two pieces of property and one of them's got a water well and one of them doesn't, I would expect to pay more for the one with the water well.
Right.
Same goes for if it's been cleared or if it's fenced, new fencing, construction drive, culvert, any of those kinds of things. Like those things have value. You may not get dollar for dollar value on an appraisal, or alternatively, you might get more.
Right.
It depends. It always comes down to the comps or comparable sales in the area. But in almost all cases, you're going to get those things are going to add dollars to your appraised value. Certainly, your equity position.
Okay. Awesome.
It's one less thing the next person behind you would have to do, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. We got Angela asking, is there a way to add a pocket office? Adding square footage seems to be expensive. So yeah, we've seen quite a few customers who have like figured out kind of where to put, either a desk space in a hallway. We've seen one customer that comes to mind actually took some of the closet space in one of our bigger master closets and created a study in a hallway out of that. The other thing I've seen done, if you want to add square footage without adding quite as much cost, is if you're looking at an elevation that has a large front or rear porch. Since we're already pouring that foundation, it's that's a less expensive way to add square footage, is if you kind of enclose some of that to create additional living space. So there's lots of ways that we can get creative and figure out how to get you the spaces you're looking for. And then she's also asking if we have other older floor plans that are not on our website.
I mean, we go back to 1932, so there are definitely plans that aren't there. I mean, they're not maintained. And Don's talked about this before, where when the code changes, sometimes we can modify the plans to a degree, but after a certain amount of time, they do kind of just like a piece of software or anything else, they kind of reach end of life. It becomes cost prohibitive to maintain them, because that does require time, energy, resources, money, paying draft people, paying estimators to okay, we need to bring this, blow the dust off this plan from 1968 and bring it up to current code. It's not as easy as just a click of a mouse, but I mean, we don't they're not readily priced out, but there are some that have been retired probably recently that we could easily get pricing on. And then there's some nostalgic ones that the best place for them to live is in the frames of our offices. They were awesome in the 1950s and 60s and 70s, and they brought us to where we are today, but they're not really functional from a
they don't meet standards of today.
Well, yeah, we can span a lot further than we used to with engineered wood products. I mean, you think back to the day you walked in the front door and you had a dining room study on your left with a half wall and spindles, and then everything was 8-foot ceiling, and no room was bigger than about 11 or 12 feet wide. The reason for that is, we were doing it with just dimensional lumber, like straight up whatever was grown in the forest, mill it down, and how far will it span? So, triple 2x12 beams and all that. But now we have engineered wood products. We can do things like in the Paladuro where we're spanning, 30, 40, 50 feet with LVLs and with laminated beams, different things like that. So.
All right. We've got Anna asking, do you offer a light stained concrete floor, not gray color? Still deciding between tile or polished concrete. Can you give me some advice? Both options look nice for me.
I'm going to set the design question out, Dawn. The answer, I mean, I don't know what all the color choices are that we offer, but yes, I'm sure there's a lighter gray you can do. And then
and there's also lighter not grays. So I know we've got a wide spectrum of colors available in stained concrete, and what they'll do is kind of do a sample for you before they stain all the floors, so that you can make sure that it is exactly what you're looking for. As far as tile versus stained concrete, it really comes down to what look you're looking for, like what design look are you looking for. If you're somebody who really wants it to be consistent, and you want all of your floor to look the same and have similar patterning and things like that, I would go towards tile. Personally, because stained concrete, the beauty in it is the inconsistency. So when your concrete gets poured, it's going to be a little bit different in color to start with, which means it's going to stain a little bit differently. The chemical Composition of the concrete is going to take the stain differently throughout. So it's not going to be a consistent color. It's kind of like the conversation. I would equate it to when you're looking at countertops of going quartz versus granite. Granite is a lot less consistent in its color, whereas quartz, you know exactly what you're getting. So it's kind of, it just depends upon what you're looking for in it. And so it's really a style choice that's up to you and what you need. They're both pretty durable options if you've got pets and stuff. Keep in mind, stained concrete, if you do not continue to treat it, it is going to show some wear patterns over time. But as long as you're maintaining it properly, it'll be fine. We've got Jason saying in response to Kevin, we are adding space to the Tampico to make the bedroom larger. It was a very minimal cost to add it.
There you go.
So there you go.
Thanks, Jason.
We've got Rose saying we are building a Tampico D in Van Zant County and framing is almost done. We love cooking, so most of our customization goes to our kitchen. We chose the alternate pantry, a microwave and oven wall combo, pot filler, extended the island, utensil pull-out drawer, trash can pull-out, farmhouse sink, and masonry in our peninsula. Oh,
there you go.
I can't wait to see that.
All the things, yeah.
Yeah, we did all the things. That sounds great. Can't wait to see pictures of that. We got Denise saying, if your house plan and land appraised for more than the build price, is that part of your equity?
Sure is. Sure is.
Absolutely. And then we've got Will just checking in and saying,
What's up,
hey, Will.
Hey, buddy. Good to hear from you, friend.
Good to see ya. Well,
okay, guys, keep dropping your questions into the chat. We're going to move on to family rooms and master suites. So, but any questions, comments about anything home related, ask it away.
All right. So this is the other place where this is the next place the money goes, really, after the kitchen. So we've got a lot of different ceiling treatments, and that's kind of why I lumped these two spaces together, because the different ceiling options are similar. So the first is box beam, which we tend to show kind of like we're showing it in the canyon where we do the rough sawn wood wrap. But this is also available if you prefer the sheetrock to the rough sawn. We can do that as well. But that's kind of what the box beam pattern looks like. And these come in different patterns and styles. So you can kind of lay out what you're looking for. Cathedral ceilings are another option. And these come in a variety of designs. So again, you can do sheetrock beams, you can do rough sawn wood, covered beams. Sometimes the beams hang down and you've got cross beams running underneath. This is actually out of our Lone Star model where we actually did some shiplap on the ceiling as well. So you've got both the cathedral ceiling with the beams and you've got a shiplap ceiling there. So just some nice treatments. And you can see going out onto that back porch, you've got the real soffit out there. So it's beautiful, gorgeous space. And those cathedral ceilings really just make the space look so much bigger. Just absolutely gorgeous. Other ceiling options, we have stepped ceilings that we offer, as well as sloped ceilings. So just different ways to kind of add a little bit of height and interest into the room. And then this is probably one of our most popular options that gets added to our homes, which is the extended rear porch with that cathedral ceiling and the rough sawn truss. This is a very popular style, and generally speaking, it's also going to cathedral the ceiling in the family room as well. So you get those extra windows so that the light comes in and comes through, and just gorgeous, because we know you bought your property first and you bought it because you love it. So we make sure when we're designing our homes that we're giving you the best views of that property and letting you really enjoy it. And then the next thing that a lot of people love to do is add in a fireplace. So there are multiple ways that you can personalize your fireplace. And this is where, when some people are like, well, how much is a fireplace? Well, it depends on what you want to do with it, because you've got, the options of how are you going to do your hearth? What kind of surround you're going to do? Are you going to take it all the way to the top, to the ceiling? What's that going to look like? So these are just a variety of the options, and in addition to that, what type of fireplace? Is it going to be a gas fireplace? Is it going to be a wood burning fireplace? Do you want an electric fireplace? So this is kind of a good representation of the variety of different options that we have. And I threw in, a couple weeks ago, we saw a home where a customer did the herringbone brick pattern, and I just think that this was gorgeous and amazing, and everybody should do this. This is I love it. So made sure to get that in there. But yeah, lots of options for your fireplaces. And then the next place is bathrooms. So the master bath's another place where we see some money going in. This is the Lone Star bathroom, guys. If you have not gotten to go see that model, it is worth the trip.
This is not a spa. This is an actual
Yes,
bathroom in one of our
this is
houses.
this is an actual bathroom in one of our houses. And yeah, this is gonna be the next big bathroom that everybody's trying to fit into everywhere. But yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. So most of our homes are also going to have alternate master bathroom layouts, and several of them actually have two that you can choose from. So these are two quick options, kind of showing what those look like from the Tampico as well as the Barton Springs. What you're going to see in our alternate master bathroom layouts are separating the shower from the tub, making sure that you've got those spaces the way you want them. You'll see bigger walk-in showers, larger soaking tubs. They'll include things like freestanding tubs. We now have options that have the full, spa wet room where the tub is actually within the shower. And you'll also see some changes to master closets that happen when you're doing these. And so the next kind of shows, this is the bathroom from the LaSalle that I think we have fit in almost every single plan that we offer. So if you do, this is another area where if you're like, I really like that bathroom, can we put that in this plan? We have our sales consultants have figured it out in just about every home that we offer, how to get this in. So yeah, it's got that gorgeous freestanding tub with the huge walk-in shower with the dual shower heads behind it. So just this is a gorgeous bathroom. And then this is the one from the Polidoro. So that's kind of spa room that I was talking about, where the bathtub is actually within the shower. So this is actually a Polidoro that one of our customers built that I just really liked their color choices. So I put that in here because it really kind of shows this space a little bit better. So yeah, you've got the two shower heads in that same room where the bathtub is. So just a very luxury spa experience
Big
that we
time.
offer in several of our plans now. One other, fairly inexpensive upgrade that does make a big impact is taking the tile all the way to the ceiling. It's just a good way to kind of elevate the space. It just gives you a really, really nice, clean look. If you're looking to get, some additional oomph in your master bath, that's more cost efficient. And then we also see Jack and Jill bathrooms. If you have growing children who like to fight over spaces and getting ready in the morning, this is a good solution if you don't want two full bathrooms in that space. So we have a variety of layouts for these that give each bathroom kind of its own sink space, and then they're only sharing the shower and commode areas, so they can still get ready in the morning when someone else is taking a shower. So this is kind of a good compromise for sisters who fight or brothers who fight,
It's
or
also good for
whatever.
guests, like holiday
It is.
time.
Mhm.
I've experienced that. It's kind of nice.
Grown sisters and brothers who fight, yeah.
Yes, yes. Sell it outside.
And then let's see. One of the other things that we get asked about a lot, because most of our plans do not come with a garage in the base plan, is kind of our garage options. And we do have garages designed for all of our homes. And then we also offer them as detached garages as well. So I'm going to talk more about our detached garage options, but just so everybody knows, we also do them as separate detached buildings. When we are building your home, we can offer that. So my example for this is the Barton Springs, because it to date is the active plan with the most garage options. There's one coming that will take over that title and actually has more garages pre-designed, but this one kind of shows you everything that we can kind of do with the space. So the model, as you see it, has a 2.5 car garage that kind of loads from the side near the front door, but we have several other options for that are on the next slide. So we also have it as a 2-car front load. We've got that 2.5 car side load that you see on the model. You can also just do it as a 2-car side load if you don't want the extra toy bay. We can move the garage doors to the other side, and then we can also move the garage to the entire other side of the house. So lots of different options that you'll see in our garages. Several of our models offer 3-car garages. We can expand the garage however you like. I know Neil has a 6-car garage on his San Jacinto, so he definitely designed his own. But let's just lots of different options that you'll see kind of in the layouts. I would encourage you, if you're looking at adding a garage, to start with one of our custom options because we figured out the interior hallway space. So that's always a good place to start if you're looking at
And
adding a
door
garage and
swings
wanting
and
to make
things
it
like
bigger.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, door swings. This is what's going to happen. We're coming in through this utility room, so the placement is very important in the garage and how you're going to get into the
Yes.
house.
Yeah. No one ever questions door swings at the front door. It's the door swings in small areas like half baths and utility rooms and places where there's appliances and
Mhm.
laundry hampers and things like that. That there does need to be some thought put into this.
Yeah, and you'll also see sometimes when we're adding garages to other sides of the homes, we will move the utility room to make sure that you're entering through that space as well. So I would say always start with one of the options, and then we can continue to customize from there. All right, and let's see. Before we go into other changes, I can see that we have
We
more
do have
questions coming
questions. Yeah.
in. All right, Anna is asking, what kind of maintenance do concrete floor will need?
Okay, so you have to be a little bit more careful about harsh chemicals to clean it with. And like Don said earlier, it will. I know you've probably seen this in carpet, like
Mhm.
hallways, where people are making turns, frequently used areas. You will see wear patterns in it over time. And so some from time to time you may have to refinish an area. And they've come a long way with the acid stains. It helps because it actually like goes into the kind of first layer of concrete. But um, I'm seeing a lot of I've seen a lot of threads about, oh, if it's installed properly, it will not fade, it will not show wear patterns. And it's simply not my experience, and it's simply not true.
Mhm.
I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that there will be over time, not in the first year, maybe not in the first 3 years, but over time there will be a wear pattern relative to tile, which will not. Porcelain or ceramic
Right.
tile is not going to show a wear pattern. Um, like anything else, if you spill, I told you like their countertops, you're paying $5, $6, $7,000 for countertops. If you spill something on it, red wine, food grease, Kool-Aid, something like that,
Stick of butter.
clean it up. Uh, if you let it sit there for a day or overnight or something like that, it's going to be very, very difficult to remove that. And your guests may never know it, but you will see it because you can't unsee it because you know where it was.
Mhm.
That is stained concrete is more susceptible to that than say a porcelain or a ceramic tile, or probably even an LVP. So just definitely not as susceptible as carpet though.
Right, yeah. We got Will saying, "Missed y'all. It's been a busy year. The farm is growing as well. Y'all are in good hands with
Sweet.
Tilson. Stay blessed and have a blessed rest of the week." Oh, thank you, Will.
That's
We've
awesome to
missed
hear.
you too.
Send us pictures, man.
Yeah. We got Robin asking, "Can you have a wood burning stove installed instead of a fireplace?"
So there are a few. There's not very many options, Robin, because of the spray foam. But there are some that have their own combustible air, and we can do price inquiries on those with our vendors and get that done. The bigger question about when you start doing a wood stove is how do you want it finished under and behind it? That's usually where
Mhm.
people can start to get stumped. Or do you want to build like a housing thing to slide it into? How do you? But the main thing is we do have to have out, the gas up and out, the smoke, the chimney, flue, whatever you want to call it, up and out of the room and out of the house, which is especially challenging with spray foam. So, but it can be done.
Okay. Kevin is asking, "What are your thoughts about the build process in Waxahachie, Ellis County? Is the permitting process restrictions requirements easier or more difficult compared to other counties?"
Well, if you're inside, if the county, I mean, yeah, Ellis County is tougher than say Kaufman or Navarro County, but it's not nearly anything like Tarrant or Dallas County, right? So, the closer you get to the big cities, the more their influence spreads. Is the most diplomatic way to say that. And it's natural, right? You've got
Mhm.
the people that are being displaced from those areas, they're moving out. Well, that goes for like your inspectors and your city employees too. They get tired at some point of big city and they want to move out and they take a job with city of Waxahachie instead of city of Arlington or city of Dallas. But they're like, well, at the city of Dallas, we did it like this. And next thing you know, 7 years goes by and looks a lot like the city of Dallas. So it's a natural thing that occurs, but it ain't that bad. I mean, as long as you're building in an area that is zoned residential, where it starts to get really difficult is if you're trying to replat things. Again, not impossible. We do this all over the state. But where you'll run into challenges is if you're trying to do something with the property that is at odds with the city. And I know that sounds like a crazy thing to even say out loud as a freedom-loving American, that the city should even have a say, but for whatever reason they do, and we've allowed them that. Not we, you people have allowed them that. I refuse to participate. But all that to say that read very carefully what you're zoned, what the restrictions are, and as long as you're in compliance with those, it's really not a problem. It's when you start to go outside of and they'll call it the intended use of the property, which again is hard for me to even say out loud when it's not when it's private property. But
Yeah.
that's the deal. Okay. Them's the deal. So, but it's not impossible. We've built in the city of Waxahachie. We've built in Ellis County. We have an office in the city of Waxahachie in Ellis County. So it's not like we're unfamiliar with it, but is it as easy as Hill County? Nope. Not even close. But will your appraisal probably be higher? Yep. Will there be more comps in the area? Of course. So, are you closer to Sports Clips and, Panera Bread and all that stuff? Yeah. So there's a trade-off, right? I hope that helps a little bit. End of municipal overreach rant.
Fair enough.
Actually, pause. And I'm not going to end of rant ever.
All right. Scott's saying in response to Terry, I've been paralyzed and using a wheelchair for 25 years now. We designed our Whitney to be wheelchair accessible. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that.
We got Michaela saying, playing with the options. When you add one thing, the other disappears. Does that mean there's no way to do both? Looking at the canyon.
Oh, darn.
Okay, so it depends on the option. So the custom option combinations on our website are limited just because of how we have to make some adjustments. So specifically the canyon, if you're playing with it online, you can't build our model. Clearly you can build our model because we built it. But there are just some extra adjustments that need to be made. So for the most part, just because it disappears doesn't mean they can't be combined. The only time that's actually the case of that we cannot combine this option with another option is when you're looking at a family room where you're trying to put a cathedral ceiling on it, but you're also wanting to put in a bonus space that's above the family room. That's the only time that we're really going to say, yeah, we can't do that. We've got to move something. Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't have a bonus room. Just maybe we got to put the bonus room somewhere else. So I hope that helps. Just because you're seeing things disappear doesn't mean they can't coexist. Our design center can figure it out for you. And they have a more robust system that they use where they can actually kind of map it out and make it work. But yeah, so sorry about that. I know it's a little confusing, but that's not our custom options on the website are not all we can do, and the combinations go beyond that. And Joshua's asking, is it possible to make the base Angelina Island slightly bigger without choosing a completely different island?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I wouldn't make it a whole lot bigger because you start to encroach on your breakfast room space. I probably wouldn't do it much closer to that front wall of cabinets. Just for egress, just for being able to walk around and have a group of people in there. But you could probably go a little bit further into the breakfast room. Could you go? You certainly can go further into the family room. But that starts to become a personal choice, right? Like I think in the Angelina, the bar stools slide underneath, which is helpful, right? You really start to run into problems if it's like a raised bar and the bar stools stick out. That's where you start, or even a lower bar and the bar stools stick out. But I think that one they actually tuck in underneath, and so that you have a little bit more flexibility there.
Okay. And Will says he'll be sharing pictures with us in a couple months. So
okay.
Looking forward to that. And Denise says she printed out the canyon and cut and pasted the options she wanted. Perfect. That's how we do it in the offices.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah. When someone's like, I like this plan, but I like this plan's kitchen, we will cut and paste, guys. We pull out the whiteout, we figure it out. And Jason's asking, how much is the Canyon model as it sits without the bonus room and garage? That's a gorgeous home. So
No
Eric
idea.
is going to consult that for you.
Yeah, I'll start working on that. Actually, might be easier. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
All right.
I'll get close. Not right now. Go to the next thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have other questions, so we're going to have to go to the slide deck.
Oh, yeah.
You're running. So some other changes that people do like to do are feature walls. So we've got a variety of patterns that you can do to kind of get the different molding patterns on there. You can also just paint, guys. Paint is a really inexpensive way to add a lot of pizzazz to your home. And we also now are starting to see more people doing tile and masonry wallpapers coming back in that you can do after the fact. It's becoming a very popular option. So lots of things that you can do as far as your wall space to add just a little pizzazz. And then one of the other good things that people do, drop zones. So coming in from the outside, it's always a good to have a place for the clutter to gather, for people to drop off all their stuff. So we offer a variety of different designs and styles there, where you can have, the benches and different materials. So we can either do it out of cabinet material, or we can do it that matches your countertops. Just a bunch of different options, different combinations of cabinetry and cubby holes and hooks and things like that you can do. So lots of different options available there. We have seen customers do dog baths. So this is something that we've seen added to utility rooms. We've also seen them just add a regular utility sink. So lots of things that you can do, in this space to customize your home and make it work for you. And then, we've seen a lot of people adding masonry to the exterior. So brick porches are starting to become popular again, and we're starting to do those for a lot more of our customers. And then we're also starting to do a lot more screened porches, which are these pictures. So, and we do actually have a screened porch on one of the models in Angleton that's almost finished, but these are a couple that we've done for our customers.
Very popular, particularly
in buggy areas. Yes. And that's all.
Okay. And I realize in starting to do this, there's no way I'll be able to tell exactly what it is built because I don't have all the levels.
Yeah, we don't have the tile options and
so your
and
tile,
all of that.
your countertops, your cabinets, plumbing fixtures, all the stuff you've seen, you probably really like and want pricing on. That's the stuff you need to get with the design center on.
Yes.
Because they keep that up to date better than we have this. But I mean, without the garage, you're probably talking somewhere, 500 to 540, depending on where you're building. It's going to vary a little bit, but that should get you really close, and that might be a little even on the high side. 450 to 540, again, depending on where you're building, and 540 would probably get you much closer to all the levels of the things you see in there. 520, 540.
Yeah, because that has a
ask your
wood
local
grain
design
ceramic
center
tile and stuff like that. So
get your local design center; they can get you a much better price.
Okay,
much more accurate price. They're not giving you a deal. They might have a better price than I would give, probably. I don't know.
As far as accuracy goes, yeah.
Yes.
We've got Michael saying hi from New Braunfels, looking to build soon in Natalia.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, good spot.
Troylyn is asking, how much is it to add the bonus room to the canyon?
That I do. That's going to vary by region, but somewhere between $63,000 and $70,000. Get you pretty close.
Okay.
That includes there's a half bath up there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we've got Robin asking, what's the average cost for a dog bath, similar to what was pictured?
Couldn't tell you. Didn't see it. I was doing pricing on the other thing. Yeah, I mean, it's going to effectively, it's a hot, a cold, and a drain. I mean, it's going to be, it's not going to be much different than the price of a shower. Okay. Right. Because it's got everything that a shower has. So I can probably get you pretty close. And by the way, it has everything a shower has except like a door. So it's, whether the shower is this or one you see in a master bedroom, the only difference is half a wall of glass and a door. So
a little bit of tile, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be every bit the same price as that. So let's just go and add a shower, shall we? Still knock the rust off the old bicycle. And do keep dropping your questions into the chat. We'll answer every one of them.
Yep.
showers. So I mean, basically you're probably looking, $5,400, something like that. Get you real close. That's like a 42 by 42, so 3.5 foot by 3.5 foot shower. It looks about like it may be 3 by 3. It can be smaller.
Mhm.
This is the size of your dog, so somewhere between 5 and 6,000. Probably get you pretty close. Maybe a little less than that again because we're not doing the shower glass. But if you use that number, that's going to get you. That'll be plenty for your budget, and you probably come in a little bit under that.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And then we have Joshua asking for a powder bath is the only standard option, the pedestal sink.
So no, I think you can also do like a 24-inch cabinet, but I would need to double check on that. But the answer is no. I mean, you can do anything you want to in a powder bath. I think that
Mhm.
like our base price, when you add a half bath, it for sure includes a pedestal lavatory. Let's see. I got it here. Includes Kohler Cimarron pedestal sink. And so yeah, actually no, it does include just the pedestal sink is the option. And again, the standard half bath. But that being said, you can add any cabinet that you want to in there. So if you were to do 2 feet of cabinet instead, you would add the 2 feet of cabinet in a lavatory, but you would get credit for the pedestal sink that you're not using. Does that make sense? You would only pay the difference, Joshua.
Right. And there are also multiple pedestal sinks if you're looking for a particular size. We've got options there as well.
Yep.
Kathy is commenting on the dog shower that it's such a neat and cute addition for your fur baby. Yes, especially if you've got big fur babies that you don't want hauling through the rest of the house. And Alicia is saying we tried to price out a glass shower door over a tub and could not find it. Can you give me a price range?
Well, you mean just like a shower enclosure over like a secondary tub is what I'm guessing. So
Sounds like, yeah.
let's see. I mean, we can definitely put a because we have standard enclosures all the way up to semi-frameless all the way up to frameless
Mhm.
enclosures. But maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna take me a little bit to find that. I don't have that just sitting at the ready.
Okay. That's something that we could do that our design centers could price out for you. And yeah, she's just talking about the surround.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably okay. So about $2,700. That's a secondary like tub, barn door, slider. That's your 1/4-inch semi-frameless glass. So, and again, today is August 20th, 2024. So that pricing is subject to change without notice, Alicia. But that's going to get you pretty close. And if you want to do like a 3/8 glass or full frameless, you're looking about about $4,600, $4,700
Okay.
total. Get you pretty close.
All right. Jessica's asking, is there a mini me plan for the Lone Star? I love the plan, but looking to be around 2,200 square feet.
I mean, as far as
Maybe tough.
split floor plans go, yeah, there's a bunch of options in there. The Angelina comes to mind as a really good option with some added footage. It gets you really close to that. I think a model is very close to 2,100, 2,200 square feet. Split floor plan like that. Big kitchen, family room looks out the back. In fact, we have the cathedral ceiling on it. Again, but a lot of the features that people like is it takes the space, right?
It takes the square footage, yeah.
Like the butler's pantry, because the butler's pantry is in addition to the pantry, right? So you to do a lot of those kind of features, you need that footage. The bathroom in there. The bathroom's probably the bathroom's definitely larger than the master bedroom, right? So
Right,
that's pretty
yeah.
rare. So the master bathroom might be, I don't know, 200 square feet, 250 square feet, right? Like everything's going to get minier when you do it, because the family room's really not that much bigger than most family rooms. It is bigger, as is the back porch, but it's not like 6 or 7 feet bigger necessarily. So,
Okay. Jennifer here is saying game room options to fit a skee ball machine. That would be
yes,
cool.
Yeah, just needs a floor.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Terry asking, can you do a shower that has no lip, meaning wheelchair would go directly into the shower, tiled with slope to drain?
Yes, we can do that. We do want to be sure that we are making sure that water is not splashing out to hit a cabinet. So we'll want to put a little thought into that, Terry. But yeah, we've done that before. And I mean, where we don't do a door or anything, even at some time. I prefer to do a door, but we don't have to. But you need to think about some kind of a curtain that can accommodate, which means you can't be a half wall on one side or the other. So, but yeah, there's just as long as you put a little thought, we put a little thought into it, and you're open to some ideas from our design and drafting team, then we can make that happen.
Okay. All right. Jennifer's saying she has the same question about the Lone Star and square footage. Can the bedrooms be slightly smaller? Does the master need 2 walk-ins? You could start taking spaces off, but it's going to get a little wonky in what it does to the outside. So, if we take out one of the walk-in closets, I'm not sure what it's I don't know what you would gain or lose by doing that. Like the actual elevation is going to get funky. So I will drop back to what we always recommend. If you like features in a larger plan, but you want a smaller home, start with the smaller house that you think is closest to the layout that you want, and start adding the features that you like from the other home, rather than trying to take a big home and make it smaller. Because it's not as efficient to do that, and you could end up paying more for the same square footage than you would if you started with a smaller home, because it's much easier for us to add spaces than to start taking them away, because you'll get a little Frankensteiny if you just start pulling out random square footages.
Yeah, and it's not going to be that much savings, honestly. Like the price is not going to go down hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's just not. You get lucky to get into the low 5 figures when you start taking a foot here or 6 inches there, because the bedrooms get smaller. They can, but you don't want them so small they're not functional,
right?
So her advice is spot on. Like, start with a smaller plan and add the other things to it that you like get the core functionality that you need, and then take the features. Okay, I got to have that master bathroom. Like, I cannot live without that master bathroom. Cool. Let's start with a smaller plan and see if we can work that master bathroom into that.
Right.
But you're not going to take a Gonzalez or even a Angelina or Arlington and make it look like the Lone Star. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
Get close, but it's not going to look like it.
Yeah. Lisa's asking, what would an estimated cost be to change the garage into game room on the San Jacinto plan?
That's going to be a good thing to get in touch with the design center for, because a lot of things have to go into that. It's not just a plug and play, because you got AC that is going to be completely different. So unfortunately, it's not just a take one number, do another, but it's going to be probably 2 or 3 times the cost of a garage to make it living area, because you are spray foaming it now, which we don't typically do with garages. You're going to obviously be putting HVAC in it. You got more electrical outlets you're going to need to do. Lighting is going to be probably a little bit different, maybe not, but something to consider.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, probably double. I mean, 3 times is a little excessive, but probably double. It's
Okay.
about twice as much to make it a game room as it would be to a garage, but let the design center price that out.
Okay. Scott is sharing with Terry that we are building a roll-in shower in his Whitney. So
there you go.
Yes. And Kevin is asking, what is the best place in the home to put a tornado shelter during the framing stage?
I'm gonna say the garage. It's the easiest to get to, typically, easiest to access when you're putting the storm shelter in. As long as you can probably don't have to clutter it up, it'll be very accessible. Good news: the doors on the shelters, they swing in, not out, so you won't be trapped. That's by design, so you can't clutter it up too much where you can't get out. But yeah, I'm a big fan of having the garage.
Okay, makes sense. All right, and that is the last question that I see.
Brilliant. All right, well, thank you all for doing this. Don, thanks for this. A fantastic presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you to our German Shepherd who joined us. That was great. Him or her in there. But no, folks, obviously the journey doesn't end here. We have 12 design centers open 7 days a week. Longing to see you. We have one more question popping up. We'll do that.
Yes.
We have an Instagram account, as you see.
Terry's asking, I'm new on the site. Is there a charge for the plans and changes to be made?
How do you do that,
No,
Dawn?
we do not charge any type of design fee to make changes to our plans. So all that you would pay is the cost of whatever the change, the materials and labor results from the change. So if you're removing square footage, you actually pay less than you would otherwise. But we do not have any type of design fees associated with our build.
Great question, because a lot of builders do. They
Yeah,
charge
a lot
you
of builders do.
for the plans and to make changes to the plans. The exception to that would be, Terry, once you are under contract and have signed those plans, and we've started doing things like ordering engineering or permitting or things like that based on those plans, and then you come back and change the footprint. Yes, we are going to charge you to do something like that because we're going to incur costs to go back to our vendors to have
Mhm.
redrawn. So, but upfront, no, not a thing.
Okay.
So 12 design center locations open 7 days a week. Website open 24/7. The Terry, that's how he found us, was on the website. So good on you, Terry. We also have new home specialist on standby, ready to take your calls, talk about these high level questions. All the design center folks can give you much more accurate answers than I just did on all these things. They have them at the ready, and they do it all the time. They don't have to knock any rust off their bicycle chain like I did. They just do it. Okay, that's what they're
Mhm.
trying to do. Well-oiled machines they are. The other thing, we have a YouTube channel, folks. If you have not checked out the YouTube channel, it is exceptionally well organized. It has tons of information on there. You can geek out, nerd out, learn to your heart's content about these kinds of things that we've done in customers' homes, as well as our entire construction process. Every single one of these lives that we do are housed there and on our website forever and ever until I say to pull them off. And then they, and even then, it usually doesn't happen. They just sit there. But yeah, no, they're there to help you guys. They're there to help you
Mhm.
answer these questions. Anything that we maybe missed or didn't catch this time, that's why we do those and leave them there. Dawn, anything else going on that we need to know about?
We have 3 in-person seminars happening this weekend. So our Melissa office is doing a construction seminar. Our Katie office is doing a general built on your lot. So if you're at the start of the process, that's a good one to attend. And then our Spring office is doing their construction extravaganza. So they're going to have multiple members of the construction team out there, and they'll actually be grilling out on their front lawn. So you can drop by for some lunch and some giveaways and all
They're
of
just gonna put it on the front porch and let it cook. That's all you got to do. Right now.
that.
Set the weenies right there on the front concrete, and
Yeah, I'm not sure who drew the short straw that's running the grill, but it should be a good time. Should be a good
it'll be
time.
good. Yep. Go check that one out. It's always great to meet our construction team out there. We very much appreciate them coming out. That's awesome too. The other two, Melissa and Katie, you got no excuse not to go to those. There's Buc-ee's at both of them. Okay. So
Mhm.
you have to pass a Buc-ee's coming or going to get to either of those offices. So you are without excuse, because I know you'll be in a Buc-ee's this weekend. So don't pretend like you don't have an hour to stop by. You've got an hour to spend in Buc-ee's. You got an hour to stop by Melissa or Katie. So
Mhm.
go and do that. And obviously, we will be back here in the weeks to come with more of these. Ask your questions in the interim. We hope this was helpful for you guys, and we genuinely soon hope to make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.